Hey guys, I'm PandaTang and this is part 2 of the submachine gun comparison. Please watch part 1 before you watch part 2. First up is the Uzi. The Uzi deals the same amount of damage as a Scar L at long range. So this makes the Uzi a low damage weapon, however it has one of the fastest fire rates. It has the same reload speed as the AKS-74U and it has a low recoil. It has a magazine size of 32 bullets and hip firing with this weapon is fine. For long range damage, the Uzi is slightly less weaker compared to its close range damage. Overall, the Uzi is a great weapon, it's very fun to use and it's very challenging. It can be just as effective as the high damage weapons if used in the right hands. Because of its faster fire rate, you don't really need to worry about the damage. Though the only time when you do need to worry about the damage is when you're shooting at long range, as it doesn't help that the weapon does the same amount of damage as a Scar L when it shoots at long range. So having even less damage for the weapon at long range can be quite annoying. The playstyle I would recommend for this weapon would have to be a close combat. It's effective at close range with its fast fire rate, it's reliable if used in the right situation, and it's generally a fun gun to use. Just don't be using this weapon at long range combat because you'll be complaining about it. And for those who like to stay in buildings, this is for you. Next up is the PP2000 Avtomat. The PP2000 is the lowest damage weapon, dealing the same amount of damage as the Uzi at long range. It has the fastest fire rate and a faster reload rate. It has a low recoil and has a magazine size of 40 bullets. Hip firing with this weapon is fine, and for long range combat the PP2000 deals the lowest damage, making this an even weaker weapon compared to the Uzi. Overall, the PP2000 is a great close combat weapon. On the same tier as the Uzi, it should only be used at close range. The PP2000 with the fastest fire rate can be quite punching to players at close range anyway. And for someone who likes to shoot at long range, avoid this, as you'll be better off with the high damage weapons. But other than that, the PP2000 can take out multiple targets at close range. Finally, the UMP-45. The UMP-45 deals the same amount of damage as the Scar L at close range. It has the same fire rate speed, but has a slightly faster reload speed. It has a low recoil and has a magazine size of 25 bullets. Hip firing with this weapon is fine, and for long range combat, the UMP does the same amount of damage as the Scar L. Overall, the UMP-45 is a good weapon to use. It's really essentially another Scar L alternative, except this time you're missing 5 bullets. So if you had to choose one of those weapons, you're really picking out what looks better to you. So the playstyle I would recommend would really just be what the Scar L would be. Offensive and defensive, it's good at all areas. I've literally seen people snipe with this weapon. So for long range shooting, as long as you're burst firing, the UMP can do some damage. And for close range combat, the UMP can take out multiple targets at the same time. And my most recommended weapon would have to be the XM8 Compact, due to its decent damage and fast fire rate. It's a very fun gun to use and it's really reliable. In every situation you'll find that this is a gun to trust. However, I know some of you guys won't get along with this weapon, but if you do want a high powered weapon, go for the Scar L carbine. There is the UMP-45, but go for the Scar L because you'll get 5 more bullets. Because having 5 more bullets which could save your life is much better than having a styled gun. I'd also like to recommend the Uzi, because it is an underrated weapon and I don't see enough people using it. And compared to the popular PP2000, this is just as effective. It does deal better damage compared to the PP2000 and it's fun to use. Anyway, this is the end of the comparison. Hope you guys learned a thing or two. Please like, comment and subscribe.